A DPV can completely change the way you think about diving. If you're a strong, independent diver that don't need no guide, then a DPV can allow you to hop in at an easy entry and scooter to somewhere previously inaccessible, or increase the range of your exploration. Now that an affordable and capable scooter exists, it's opening doors for divers that previously couldn't afford a scooter. Enter the DiveX Blacktip. The Blacktip is an amazing scooter, but what if it could be better? I reached out to DiveX so we could take a look at the Vacuum Bulkhead and modular camera mount, which I previously hadn't had the chance to test yet. While I do have these products on loan from DiveX, I'm under no obligation to provide a positive review, and DiveX will not see the video prior to its publishing. They've also generously provided my subscribers with a discount code that you can find in the description below. Mounting a camera into your underwater scooter allows for some amazing and unique underwater footage. The added heft of the scooter really smooths out your video and allows you to get dolly smooth shots underwater. So a stable platform is a must for your camera, and the DiveX modular camera mount is a good option for small and medium-sized cameras. For larger cameras, you'll want to check out the Pro mount. It comes in 4 different versions. I chose the Pan Arca mount. I like to be able to pan my camera and remove it underwater if I need to. There's also a ball Arca mount that's a little more versatile. It adds the ability to tilt your camera. Tilt is a nice feature, but only really needed if you like to film yourself. If I'm going to film myself, it'll be with a GoPro, and that can already tilt. So I find the Pan Arca mount to be the best value for me personally. While the mount itself is plastic, it feels extremely robust. The Pan Arca portion of the mount is mostly aluminum, which has excellent corrosion resistance. Be sure to pay attention to it when you're rinsing your gear. Stuff like this has a tendency to trap salt water, and if you don't rinse it, it could end up crusty. But that's par for the course with underwater camera gear. When they designed the mount, they discovered it needed feet for added stability. They decided to use standard-size ball mounts so you could easily add lights, and I think that's a nice touch. I really like running a GoPro in my big blue 4200s for deep dives. The footage looks incredible when a GoPro's image is properly exposed. The Vacuum Bulkhead is like an insurance policy. You hope you never need it, but when you do, you're glad it's there. But we always diligently check our O-rings, right? In the extremely unlikely event that you did something human and made a mistake, you'll find out about it when you pull a vacuum, before water gets involved. This can save you a lot of money and heartache. You can either check the scooter and then remove the vacuum bulkhead, or you can leave it, add the cap, and bring the bulkhead diving with you. This is certainly the most secure method. If you remove the bulkhead prior to the dive, there's always a chance that the nose cap could still leak. If it leaks with the bulkhead in place, your precious batteries and electronics will be spared. It comes with everything you need, including the vacuum pump and a longer strap to accommodate the increased length of the scooter body when the bulkhead is installed. It's made out of aluminum and comes neutral out of the box. However, it does include some built-in weight compartments in case you need to fine-tune the scooter's balance. This is a regular occurrence when you like to bolt things onto your scooter that aren't already neutral. I'm personally having a difficult time finding a good reason to not run the vacuum bulkhead, other than the fact that it is an additional cost, but I'm sure anyone that's flooded a scooter wishes they had it. The first time I prepped my scooter with the vacuum bulkhead, I pulled a 5 psi vacuum and then left it sitting for 10 minutes. When I returned, the pressure still read 5 psi, and a wave of relief washed over me. It's so nice knowing that your scooter isn't going to leak when you hit the water, and it's just one thing that I don't have to keep in the back of my mind once I've done the vacuum test. And to me, that's worth the money. Additionally, there are some third-party accessories that I would recommend as well, like a Kayaking Compass. I've had a Silva 58 since I got my Blacktip at release. It's put up with a lot of abuse and still points north. It's completely waterproof, and I've found no signs of corrosion even after a couple years of saltwater diving. I have found that it needs to be slid a little further up the scooter away from the motor to prevent magnetic interference. And as long as you do that, it works well. You can find them online for between $60 and $80, and honestly, at that price, I think it's a steal. I'm sure other kayaking compasses are great also, but this is the only one I've tested, and it's worked for me. A T-handle can be extremely useful if you need to switch hands often while you're scootering. DiveX doesn't make one, so you'll have to source one yourself from one of the people 3D printing them online. Or, if you have a 3D printer, you could print one yourself. 3D printers are amazing tech, and it's more accessible than it's ever been. But if you're not particularly tech savvy and mechanically inclined, it might not be for you. Luckily, there are some people online that are happy to print them for you in exchange for a modest fee. I printed my own based off an STL file I found on Thingiverse and modified myself. If you'd like to do the same, I'll leave a link below to the original file. If you'd like any of my designs, I make my personal STL files available to my supporters on Patreon. I personally think there's a fine line between adding useful tools and bolting a bunch of crap to your scooter that'll only create drag and slow you down in the water. Try to be judicious when selecting accessories for your DPV, and buy quality gear that won't become a liability in the middle of your dive. Thank you to my supporters on Patreon that make videos like this possible. I would not be able to do this without you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the water.